Hi, this is 365821 and this is a Patreon exclusive Summerween extra reading vlog. And the reason that I have this is because I put in a lot of requests to my library and very few of them actually arrived before Summerween had started, and then I thought maybe they would arrive during Summerween, but they didn't. They arrived pretty much straight after Summerween had finished, so I thought, well, I've got them now and I'll just do a little extra vlog, and this can just be for just Patreons. So you're getting this extra video. The annoying thing is that there was still a couple of manga that still have not arrived, and I don't know if they're ever going to. So yeah, the library here is a little bit slow because geographically they have to transport books long distances. So yeah, this is something hopefully you can enjoy. So I just got back from the library and I have a selection of books that I got. Mostly manga and graphic novels, just because those are the ones that have arrived. I have a couple more to get, but I thought I would just show you what I've got. This is a lot pinker than I thought it was going to be. School of Horns, Volume 1 by Mito Aoi. I thought this might be quite a good one, so I'm going to give that one a go. I also got another Volume 1. This is Otogizoshi by Narumi Seto. I have no idea what this is about, but it looked dark, so I thought maybe I could do that one. We got a classic. Yana Toboso's Black Butler, also Volume 1, so I can read it. Yay! I got a graphic novel, The Fall of the House of Usher, which, if you watched my other Summerween vlogs, you know that I also read The Telltale Heart. So I have The Fall of the House of Usher, which is another one to read. And Pumpkinheads, the Rainbow Rowell graphic novel, which quite a few people have had a lot to say about. Now I'm going to find out for myself if this is actually any bad, because I don't want to say any good, because the predominant, opinion is that it's not good. So yeah, is it wrong? Is it morbid to say I'm actually looking forward to seeing how bad this is? We shall see. So yeah, Fall of the House of Usher, Pumpkinhead, and some manga. This is what I'm reading. Now, I have two other things that I have reserved, but they are taking a long time to get here. And these guys were sitting there waiting for a few days anyway, so I was like, they've arrived, I can come and collect them. And as a little omake, an extra Summerween vlog, just for my Patreons, I thought I would do this. So yeah, this probably won't go up on my channel. If it does, it means that I don't have a video, so you're seeing this. But I'm planning on just making this a Patreon exclusive. A little extra added on. So yes, I did have my two vlogs for Summerween. We read quite a few things. Hold on. We tried to read the royal we tried to read The Seven Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. I could still get the audiobook and carry on with that, but I probably won't. The Good Girl's Guide to Murder, The Death of Mrs. Westaway, and Small Spaces, which was actually really good. So I really enjoyed those three. This one I will probably give another go to at some point. But those are my official Summerween reads, whereas these were the ones I was wanting to read, but they didn't arrive in time. They kind of arrived, I think one of them arrived, two of them arrived literally the day after Summerween finished, and then the rest of them have come. So this is going to be a little extra. Hopefully it's going to be interesting. It's probably just going to be me talking about these and giving them a go. But yeah, I don't know when this video will go up either, because I would like to include the other two, because those are two that I would very much think are Summerween-y, and I'm not too sure how Summerween-y these are. But I don't know when they're going to arrive, or if. That's the state of my library, is if they will arrive, because I'm also waiting on a book, a prose book, which I might do a little vlog for as well, when it arrives. I have the audiobook for it, but I'd like to actually read the book. But yeah, so this is what I'm going to be reading. This is my TBR for this video. We'll see if I get the other two. I don't know, and I don't know what these ones are like. So we'll see together, shall we? So I have got a cup of coffee and a donut. It is morning. I've got some stuff doing on the computer, so I have already started this Black Butler back in the day. This is actually quite an old one. This is obviously just volume 1, Yana Toboso. So yeah, I have started this and it was just like, oh yeah, this is what this is all about. Oh yeah, and I totally forgot about the servant characters, and I was like, oh, they've got stories to tell. There's so much going on. It definitely has a particular style when it starts. I wonder if the later volumes have the same atmosphere or if it's very different. But it does remind me very much of that time period. So yeah, it's actually like this. They only picked this one up last year, April 2022. I mean, it's very well read. You can see it's been, unless this was donated, maybe this was donated. And that does make me think maybe I should donate some of mine to the library so that they've got some for young readers, younger readers than me. But this is originally 2010. 2010! So I was living in Japan when this volume came out. And buying G Fantasy, which was the monthly manga magazine that chapters would come out with, and I would purchase it because it would also come with what's called furoku. Furoku is like extra omake. It's like the free stuff that you get when you buy the magazine to incentivize you buying the magazine, and it would come with things like shitajiki, which is a pencil board, but specifically a Black Butler pencil board. So I have all the stuff. I have so much stuff. So much stuff. And it is all in my parents' loft. Packed up. But yeah, I do have quite a few Black Butler things. So yeah, it's good so far. It's just very much what I expected, but it's kind of nostalgic as well. And it does kind of make me want to watch some of the anime as well. It's been such a long time. Such a long time. Anyway, that's how I'm going to spend the morning reading this one. So it is almost midday. It's just, what is it, like 2 or 3 minutes to. I've made a sausage sandwich. It's got some brown sauce and some mustard. I'm gonna really enjoy it. Might have a cup of tea or something with it. But I'm just about to upload Treasure. This is the worst thing that me and Katie have ever read. Which is saying something, because there's been some real howlers, but Treasure is it. Anyway, I'm gonna carry on, have some of this, and read a little bit more in a wee bit. So I have finished Black Butler Volume 1, Yana Toboso, a yen price title, and I have also finished The Fall of the House of Usher, Edgar Allan Poe's graphic novel, because it was super quick. It's super quick. So I've just finished both of these. This one, it was good. I liked it. It was actually more interesting and a bit more action-packed than the previous one. Like I mentioned, I have already read The Telltale Heart, but this one definitely had a lot more plot. And the green, I think, was just really dramatic. So yeah, it was a good one. It reminded me of, and I don't know, because I can't quite remember what it was called, but there were all these like Vincent Price horror movies that were actually incredibly scary. And I remember watching one in like, you know how when your parents are friends with other people and then you have to just hang out with their kids, you just have to do that. And it was New Year and we were hanging out in their house, and everyone was upstairs watching a scary movie. It was a Vincent Price one, and it was all about someone who had bricked up a wall. It turned out that behind the wall there was bodies hung up, and they'd been like buried alive or bricked up alive, and I don't know. I don't remember exactly, but I just remember being like horrified at these scary, old scary movies. Like, they were old movies and they were scary as anything. And yeah, it reminded me of that a lot. So I'm wondering if it was like a Hammer horror type film and they were doing something like that. Anyway, that was good. I liked it. It was very Summerween. So as an extra omake Summerween, that was appropriate. And this one definitely has black on the cover. So a graphic novel and black on the cover. This was great, actually. It was fun. It had all the little things about it that I remembered. And it just has a nostalgic quality for me at this stage rather than anything. I do feel like when this is the page, when he says I am a devil of a butler, I guess that's as good as you can get, but the Japanese is just so much better because it's akuma de. So akuma, in the way that he says it, akuma means demon or devil, that kind of thing, but it also means just, like only. And so it's this play on words that he continuously uses throughout the story. That's great if you understand Japanese, but doesn't necessarily translate well. You know, wordplay in one language is so hard to translate well or translate accurately, but to also translate with the same intention. And it's like a tongue-in-cheek type, ha ha ha, that was so funny. But I forgot how much there was things like the food and the chibi comedy characters, Tanaka just being Tanaka, which is hilarious because this is the thing. See, this is the thing. This was published 2010, but originally 2007. Now, by this point, Junjo Romantica had already been out for a while. Now, you know where I'm going to go with this. Or maybe you don't. There's this whole thing in Junjo Romantica when Misaki gets kind of kidnapped by the Usagi family, the Usami family, Usagi-san's family, and he gets taken to their house, and it's like a big mansion like this, and there's a butler, and and when he's introducing things, the butler says, you know, oh, and this is, you know, his red sports car, and this is his Afghan hound called, oh, what was it called? I'm trying to remember the name of the dog now. Damn it, it was just there. And then he turns around to himself, and Misaki says, Sebastian! And it's this kind of joke that he's like Tanaka des. So that both of these names, Tanaka and Sebastian, are used as a joke in Junjo Romantica. That's the thing about like Japanese culture. Some things are just ingrained within society, that if you have a butler, then he's probably called Sebastian. And if you have the Japanese equivalent of a butler, the person who's like the person who runs your household, then he's probably called Tanaka. And that's the joke in Junjo Romantica, and it was like perpetuated in this work as well, which I thought was hilarious because obviously I was a big fan of Junjo Romantica. Still am a big fan. So yeah, this was fun, it was nostalgic, and it did make me want to read the rest of it, and it's like super long now, and it's probably quite difficult to get hold of all of the volumes, and I wonder if Yen Press will every once in a while do a little reprint just so you can get them. But it is nice, but it also doesn't look as polished as I thought it was going to look, because I'm so familiar with the anime style and the anime artwork. So yeah, but it was good considering I have considering I have artwork, art books and stuff like that. Even upstairs, I've got Black Butler art book stuff, and the Japanese ones as well. So you get to actually read the volume. I don't know what I'm going to read next, but I'm hungry, so I'm going to make something to eat. So I think I'm going to start School of Horns Volume 1 next by Mito Aoi. It looks dead cute. I already opened it up, and I was kind of disappointed that the library did this. They put this right on this first page, which is actually the first page of the book. Like, why would you do that? Wouldn't you just put it on this side? I mean, you can put the sticker here, you know, along here or under here, and you can still scan it that way, and then put this across here like this, and that way you're not damaging the first page, where people still need to read the story. And I was like, what a shame. And then this sticker right on top of the nice colour image. It's such a shame, especially if they ever try to resell it. But $9.99, I was like, what? And once again, this is 2019. You know, this has only been around for a year. That's crazy. But it looks cute, and it looks like it might be interesting. And I was like, oh, this looks like a nice drawn thing. I should probably read what it's about, because I haven't actually done that yet. And I read the back of it, and I don't know if you can actually see this. There we go, maybe that's a bit better. So the synopsis, it reads like a BL. I didn't mean to pick up something that's screaming at me. This is a BL plot. In a world where horns, like honestly, this is so BL without it being BL. In a world where horns are the defining trait of magical beings, the larger the horns, the better. Tell me that's not a stand-in for dick size. You can't. Eru is self-conscious about how tiny his horns are compared to those of his new classmates. Not only is his power so weak it is barely noticeable, but things have a habit of going awry when he is around. Rihito, that's a very BL name. I don't know if you can see. Maybe if I zoom in, there we go. That's better. That's better. Rihito, one of the top students in their grade, with exceptionally strong magic, of course he is, is the complete opposite of Eru, who is also his roommate. And they were roommates. And Rihito already seems to hate him. Enemies to lovers. Roommates to lovers. With their constant encounters, will Eru continue to discover just how inferior his strength is? Or maybe he'll find some power of his own. Power bottom of his own? I know. But tell me that isn't the plot of a BL. Because I can only read this and think, well, that's BL. Maybe it's because I read so much BL. But that seems to me like a BL plot. And the artwork, you know, pretty boys, pretty boys. It's screaming BL at me. So I'm going to have a good time even if it's not. Do I ship them already? Of course. They were roommates. Anyway, I'm going to read this. And then I'm probably going to have something to eat. Because it's a bit later in the day, so we'll see if I can have something. I don't know what I'm going to have, but I'm going to read this first, or at least I'm going to read some of it. So it's quite a bit later now, so I've put the lights on. I have made myself a fish kind of wrap with salad, onions and stuff like that. It's going to be tasty, with like tartar sauce and things, so that's a nice little thing. But it is quite late, so I probably shouldn't eat too much, which is why it's quite salad heavy. Anyway, just finished School of Horns Volume 1 by Mito Aoi. I love this. I love this. This is 100% my kind of story. Really enjoyed it. And it's only a 2-volume story, so now I'm like, oh, I really wish they had got Volume 2 because the library only has Volume 1, of course. The art style is very nice, very easy on the eye. It's full of beautiful boys. It's predominantly boys. There's, female characters, and there is a main female character. It's very competently done. But the way that it's drawn, I'm like, this has got to be a BL artist. This this mangaka has definitely written BL before, surely. Maybe they've got a different pen name, something like that. Especially when we got introduced to where is he? I'm gonna have to find him. There he is. There's the daddy. There's the daddy. Hello, daddy. He literally is a daddy. And this character as well is like a daddy's boy, but not in that respect. He is actually his father and son. This is father and son. I'm like, great character design. Thank you very much. Thank you. Just the chibbiness is so cute. This is really nicely done. This is really pretty. This is really, really, really BL. For non-BL title, this is actually BL. I'm like looking around going, does it say that it's not? Where does it say that it is? Like, I'm looking at the, like, okay, it's just teen. L. What does that mean? Did you forget the B? This was great. It's a bit of like mystery. There's some other things going on. It's dormitories, it's schools, it's magic, it's like battles, it's competition, it's very much like I imagine they bone in the next volume. They don't. They obviously don't, because this is not BL. But these two are in love, Your Honor. They've just become a couple. They've become a pair that everyone just is like, oh, those two together. So yeah, we follow. Obviously, this is so chunibyo, so chunibyo. The story of this is that we have a magical school. Love it. Everyone who attends has horns, and if you have horns, and that means you have magic, but different types of horns give you different kinds of magical skill. I'm like, great, love this magical system, that's great. But then we have this character, Eru, who has very small horns, and he's half human, half demon. I don't know, what are they? Magical beings. And he's trying to find what makes him special, because he doesn't have a lot of magic. But it turns out he is a special person, of course, and has a special kind of magic, of course. But then you do get to meet all of these different characters, and they're great. I love them. It's brilliant. I really want to read volume 2. I really want to read it now. It's such a good volume. And it just reads like a BL. It so reads like a BL. I'm like, this is BL without it being BL, which is terrible, because this is very, you know what it's like? You know what it reminds me of? My Love Mix-Up. It reminds me of a magical school My Love Mix-Up. The characters are very similar. Not gonna lie, all the characters are very similar, because there's 4 main characters. One of them's a girl, 3 of them is a boy, and then you got the odd other ones that pop in here and there. And they're at school, you know. But I did really enjoy it. I really did have a good time. And I really want to read volume 2 now. So I did a little search, because I was like, when I got to the end of volume 1, I was like, oh, all of this, there's so many like things that they say to each other, the beats of the story, they all follow a trajectory that is BL. I cannot read this without it being like, this is BL, right? It's like when I read A Polar Bear in Love. I was like, this is BL, Your Honor. This is BL. And what people said, everything was very much like that. That's exactly what is said in a BL. This is exactly what happens in a BL. All of the story beats are hit if you were imagining this to be a BL. I mean, look, they even have, you know, the twins. This is, you know, a bit of twincest going on. It's all very much like, this was hilarious though. This is what I really enjoyed. Look at his little chibbiness. This is him in the past when he had to play Seaweed, which he was like, I only got to play Seaweed. You know what? I also played Seaweed in a performance in primary school. I played really great seaweed though. I played dramatic seaweed, like over the top. I was on a pyramid of three boys playing seaweed at the top. And the dance instructor who had come to teach us played Big Bird in the European Sesame Street and had trained as a dancer. She was like 6 foot something, very tall. And she said I was the best seaweed she'd ever seen. So that just made me laugh because I was like, me too, kiddo. Me too, Eru. I really like this, but I cannot see this as anything other than BL, which means I probably need to get it and put it in my collection because it's not BL, but it's that BL-ish, it's BL-esque. And then I looked and I searched for Mito Aoi and thought, oh, maybe she has a different name, maybe it's under, and her, this mangaka's works are so many different genres and different demographics. It's like everything, just dipping in and doing it, but they're all incredibly beautiful, lovely character designs, lovely drawings, very, very competent artwork, very nice. And yes, she has done a couple of BL or yaoi, it's down in back of manga updates, but she has done a couple of BL. One of them is on Renta, which means I'm gonna have to go and find it and read it on Renta because damn. I really enjoyed this. Really enjoyed this. This was a surprise. I don't know if I'm going to read anything else tonight because, like I said, it is quite late, and I might just put the TV on and watch something. A bit of Who Do You Think You Are, or The Sewing Bee. Love it, love it. But yeah, this has been a good day. This has been a great read. This is my favorite so far because Black Butler is just a reread. So yeah, this is great. Anyway, I'm going to eat something delicious and fairly healthy, not too heavy for this time of the night. So, good morning. This is what I have finished. I started it last night. I did watch a few things. What did I watch? I did watch an episode of The Swing Bee. It was good. But then I came upstairs to read this, or at least start it anyway. And I noticed it was by Adrian Beck, which is a translator who does a lot of Viz ones. And this is from 2006, which is really quite old. And it's interesting font choices. But I actually really liked it. It was really interesting. I found out it's just a 2-volume story. They said right at the end. In the second and final volume, find out what happens. And I was like, damn it. Because I don't think the library has this second volume either, which is really annoying because I just read a really great story that I'm like, wow, this is great. And it's only 2 volumes. And I'd really love to read the other volume to find out what happens. And once again, I've actually really enjoyed this. Incredibly old, very, very poorly looked after, but beat up copy. It's an interesting story set in 900 AD, Heian-kyo, which is Kyoto as the capital city at that time, and it's being kind of like ruled by the Fujiwara clan, who are the advisors to the emperor. So they're the real power behind the throne. And then we have this family who is a brother and sister and a father, and the brother is kind of like the main military guy. When someone says, hey, go and do that, he goes and does it. And one of the things he did was massacre a village of bandits, and they were supposed to be completely killed, everyone, but unfortunately there was 4 of them left alive, and they would like to have revenge on this person who led the massacre. And it just so happens that he has a sister who's a bit of a tomboy, wants to go out in the world, and is finding out some things about what's really happening in the world outside of her very small little house. Or well, it's not a small house. She's one of the elite. So she's naive in some respects, but she's got a lot of gumption and I enjoyed it. It was great and it was interesting, and I kind of want to find out what happens next. And uh, apparently, yeah, it's got an anime. So Otogizoshi. I kind of want to find out what happens. And if it is only a 2-volume series, I'm so annoyed that I don't know how I'm gonna find out. Without looking online for copies, that kind of thing, because I doubt that the library has the second volume. I didn't see it when I was looking, so yeah. Is it? It's dark. It's very dark in some respects. So in terms of Summerween, it's good, and because it's historical and there's, you know, it's very full of traditional things, but and there's murder and sinister acts and violence and blood and guts and gore and a bit of that. But it's not. That's not what the story's about. The story's about a brother and sister, and like a found family fighting for survival, and a real family fighting for survival, and you know, political shenanigans and all that kind of stuff. And I liked it. It was kind of old-fashioned in the art style as well, but it was very competently done. So I'm kind of annoyed. It is Sunday today though, so I've taken a while to get this done, and um I have family coming, so I still need to read the last graphic novel, which is, what was it called, Pumpkinhead. And now that I'm at this stage, I said I was really excited about reading it because I wanted to see how bad it is, but now I'm like, I don't actually want to. I don't want to see how bad it is, but I'm going to try and see if I can read it while I have family visiting. But I'm going to go and, you know, we're probably going to be doing some stuff. We've got Grand Prix and shopping and maybe walks and stuff like that. So I don't know how much I'm going to get filmed, or how much I'm going to actually get read. So hopefully I can read it while they're visiting, but that might be a bit more of an ask. But anyway, this was good, and it gets added to the pile of, oh, I wish I could get the second volume. So I have been enjoying some time with some family. We've been picking up secondhand books, going into charity shops and thrift shops to get some stuff, and finding some treasure, and went into a fancy shop and bought some things, or just looked at things that looked nice and just had some fun. I got some sausages I was very happy about. Anyway, so we've been having some fun, and I have now finished Pumpkinheads. So Pumpkinheads by Rainbow Rowell and Faith Erin Hicks, the graphic novel. Now this was one that I wanted to definitely read because it was set in fall, for Summerween. It was a graphic novel, so it had orange on the cover, so it like had so many of the prompts, and so this was why I was really wanting to read it. And of course it didn't come, just like all the other books here that I've talked about and read, it did not come. But so many people did read it because it did cover so many of the prompts, and most of the people who read it did not like it. Some people hated it. I don't think I hated it. I didn't hate it, that's for sure. So I went in there expecting to hate it, and that's maybe why, because my expectations were low, like super low. Like I was like, oh, what is it about this that I'm going to absolutely hate? And I don't think that this is something that is aimed towards me. I am not the target demographic for this graphic novel. That's not to say that there weren't good things about it. I liked the art style, and I liked, I mean, I want to go to this place. I really would love to go to this. It's so American, which if you're not from America, then you're like, what? But it's very, very American because you just don't have things like this. It's not the same. We don't have the same kind of autumn festival type things. We do, but it just doesn't have that same sort of feel to it, like corn mazes and pumpkin patches and stuff like that. We do get them, and people are trying to make these kinds of locations. I do enjoy a good map. I love a good map. Love it. So yeah, I'm enjoying some aspects of it. I thought it was quite good. The kind of there was fat shaming, which I was like, was that needed? I don't think you needed that. And also there is, you know, a character who has a crush on someone for afar over 3 years, and only, you know, at the end of this does actually talk to them, find out that the image that they had in their mind wasn't what that person was, and then promptly turns around and says that they want to be in a relationship with their best friend for. I mean, the relationships within the people, there's definitely things I'm like not too sure about that. But also they're supposed to be 17, 18, something like that. They're about to go off to college. And also, that's probably not the best time to start a relationship. So yeah, there's things about it that I'm like, yeah, no, hard pass. But also, I liked the art, and also I want to go to this pumpkin patch and eat all of the food and enjoy all of the autumnal stuff. So yeah, it gave autumn vibes. And if that was the point of reading during Summerween, to get autumn vibes, then this totally ticked that box massively. I want to go get a pumpkin spice latte. I want a chai latte. I want apple flavored things. Yeah, give me all the autumnal spicy feels. I want it. And considering that, you know, our summer was so hot and so lovely for about, I don't know, 6 to 8 weeks, but in like May and June, and now we're getting further into it's not as summery, so it's definitely starting to feel more autumnal. So yeah, this was appropriate for the prompts and challenges for Summerween, so it would have been a good one to read even if you didn't enjoy it so much. I do think the art and the printing and everything is very nice. I'm not a huge fan of the character designs, and when I read the back, they were talking about making them look a little older. And I was like, how old do you want them to look? Because they're supposed to be like 17 or 18, not 23, 24, or 25, you know? Because they're about to go off to college, not about to finish it, you know? And yeah, there was obviously some people have an issue with Rainbow Rowell, and I 100% understand that. I really like Carry On. I can't deny it. I really like Carry On. But I did pick up one of her books and then found out about her. So I didn't know about her before I read Carry On, or before I picked up, what was it? Eleanor and Parks from the charity shop. And as soon as I got it, I looked at some of the reviews and I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to read this. So yeah, and it's good to do a bit of your own research or to ask questions about that. So I don't know, other than there's a lot of authors that have been around for quite some time in the sort of writing world, book world, and they have Christian backgrounds, and that's not always something that I necessarily want to have anything to do with, because I'm like, ugh, organized religion, terrible. Anyway, that's what I've got here. That's what I've read. Unfortunately, there were 2 other manga volumes that I still haven't got. They're still not in my library, even after all this time. They still haven't arrived. They're just that bad. I might get them at some point, but they're not going to be in this video. Anyway, I read The Fall of the House of Usher. That was okay. It reminded me of a scary movie. Black Butler, which was nostalgic and also kind of like, huh, is that what it was? Is that what it looked like? It kind of felt like there was more to it when I read it before, but then of course I read quite a few of the volumes before. And then School of Horns was just a breath of fresh air. Mito Aoi, just lovely. I honestly was like very, very impressed with. It was a good surprise. I enjoyed it a lot, and the artwork is just super cute. And I would love to read the second volume, but the library doesn't have it. And then Otogizoshi from Narumi Seto, an old Tokyopop title, which also is only a 2-volume series, and I would love to read the second volume of that one as well, but unfortunately not. So anyway, this is the end of my Summerween extra. So this is just for Patreon. So hopefully you've enjoyed this. Hopefully you've taken some of these and thought maybe you might want to take it further. Pumpkinheads, the last one, like I said, it was fine for what it was, and the art was very pleasantly drawn, but mainly the point of this was for the pumpkin aspect. It was for the fall and all of the autumnal goodies that I would like to eat. But yeah, so this is kind of like this extra for Summerween. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for being a patron, and hopefully you enjoyed this Patreon exclusive. Yeah, I don't know when it'll go up, but it'll be on the. You'll be watching this. You'll see it. So there it is. So yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a patron, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.